Good evening, everybody. Today we are going to discuss Thomas Hardy, his biography. So let us begin. Thomas Hardy was born on June 2nd, 1840 and died on January 11, 1928. Thomas Hardy was an English novelist and a poet. Hardy was a novelist of Victorian tradition, a Victorian realist in the tradition of George Eliot. He was influenced both in his novels and in his poetry by Romanticism, including the poetry of William Wordsworth. Thomas Hardy was highly critical of much in Victorian society, especially in the declining status of rural people in Britain, such as those from the native southwest England. While Hardy wrote poetry throughout his life and regarded himself primarily as a poet, his first collection of poems was not published until 1898. Initially, Thomas Hardy gained fame as an author of novels. His novels are Far from the Madding Crowd, 1874, The Mayor of Casterbridge, 1886, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, 1891, and Jude the Obscure, 1895. During his lifetime, Hardy's poetry was acclaimed by younger poets, particularly the Georgians, who viewed him, means Thomas Hardy, as a mentor. After Thomas Hardy's death, his poems were lauded by Ezra Pound, W.H. Auden, and Philip Larkin. Many of Hardy's novels concern tragic characters struggling against their passions and social circumstances, and they are often set in the semi fictional region of Wessex, initially based on the medieval Anglo Saxon kingdom. Hardy's Wessex eventually came to include the English counties of Dorset, Wiltshire, Somerset, Devon, Hampshire, and much of Berkshire in southwest and south central England. Two of his novels, Tess of the D'Urbervilles and Far from Marine Crowd, these two novels were listed in the top 50 on the BBC survey of the Big Read. It is a survey. As already told, Thomas Hardy was born on 2nd June 1840 in Higher Bockhampton, then Upper Bockhampton, in a hamlet, means a small village, in the parish of Stinsford in the east of Dorchester in Dorset, England, where his father Thomas worked as a stonemason and local builder. Thomas Hardy's parents had married at Melbury, Osmond on 22nd December 1839. His mother, Jemima, 1830 to 1904, was well read and she educated Thomas until he went to his first school at Bockhampton at the age of 8. For several years, Hardy attended Mr. Last's Academy for Young Gentlemen in Dorchester, where he learned Latin and demonstrated academic potential. Now that because Hardy's family lacked the means for a university education, Hardy's formal education ended at the age of 16 when he became apprenticed to James Hicks, a local architect. Hardy worked on the design of the new church at nearby Ethelhampton, situated just opposite Ethelhampton House, where he painted the watercolor of the Tudor gatehouse while visiting his father. And his father at the time was repairing the masonry of the dovecote. Hardy moved to London in 1862, where he enrolled as a student at King's College London. He won prizes from the Royal Institute of British Architects and the Architectural Association. Hardy joined Arthur Bloomfield's practice as assistant architect in April 1862 and worked with Bloomfield on Christchurch, East Scene, Richmond, London, where the tower collapsed in 1863, and All Saints Parish Church in Windsor, Berkshire in 1862 to 64. A reredos, possibly designed by Hardy, was discovered behind paneling at All Saints in August 2016. In the mid 1860s, Hardy was in charge of the excavation of part of the graveyard of St. Pancras Old Church before its destruction when the Midland Railway was extended to a new terminus at St. Pancras. Hardy never felt at home in London because he was acutely conscious of class divisions and his social inferiority. During his stay in London, he became interested in social reforms and the works of John Stuart Mill or J.S. Mill. He was introduced by his Dorset friend Horace Mole to the works of Charles Fourier and Auguste Comte. Mill's essay on liberty was one of Hardy's cures for despair, and in 1924 Hardy declared that my pages show harmony of view with Mill, means John Stuart Mill. Hardy was also attracted to Matthew Arnold's and Leslie Stephen's ideal of urban liberal freethinker. After 5 years concerned about his health, he returned to Dorset, settling in Weymouth, and decided to dedicate himself to writing. So, friends, that is all about Thomas Hardy's life, his biography. Next, in the forthcoming lecture, we will discuss his drama, The Dynasts, and all his novels, poetic works, poems, and short story collections. So keep studying and stay with us for further lectures. Till then, have a good day.